make sure we live on all platforms. Okay. Okay. Let's make sure we live on all platforms. Yes, we are. Yes, we are live. Forms. Okay. If we're live here, then that means we're live on TV as well, which I believe is a good thing. So, as we all know, the Boston Celtics went up against the Dallas Mavericks, and the headlines coming out. Oops, let me make sure. The headline was the return of one Jason Tatum. Now, Chris Haynes posted on Threads, and the question was brought up because obviously the news broke earlier today. By the way, welcome to the channel, guys. It's been a while. I haven't streamed in about, I want to say, almost a month, 2 months. And that is definitely not what I was planning to do. The goal this year was to be a bit more consistent, but life happens, shit happens, and I wasn't able to stream. But I thought no better way than to start streaming again after Jason Tatum made his return after, his gruesome Achilles injury. And honestly, the fact that Jason Tatum returned speaks on how, not really desperate, but how he really wanted to return. Given that obviously this Celtics team is going to make a run, especially with him returning and having the game that he had. But I think that's a great thing. Welcome back to the channel. We are back with another live stream, and I promise you guys, we're going to try to stay a bit more consistent. But Jason Tatum made a triumphant return. He made a triumphant return, and he recorded a double-double in a 120-100 victory over the Dallas Mavericks after nearly 10 months away from a torn Achilles. Now let's get into the stats really quick, because to see what Jason Tatum did, like I said, modern medicine is it's insane, because I think Jason Tatum has returned in less than 300 days. I think for Kevin Durant, it took him like doubled that, like 700 days to return back from his Achilles injury. And we obviously know that the Achilles tear is what derailed Kobe's career and essentially, put him out the league. But it's great to see that Jason Tatum is back. And like I said, modern sports medicine, the fact that Jason Tatum is back, I mean, for me, and going back to what Chris Haynes said, right? We're going to get into the stats, but going back to what Chris Haynes said, because the news broke that JT was obviously going to be playing. And Chris Haynes dropped this about 7 hours ago and says, "What do you think about the Boston Celtics, bringing Jason Tatum back?" Now, for me, my response was, I think it's exciting for Celtics fans, of course. But as a JT fan, I'm a bit worried about him coming back from such a serious injury. Now, hopefully the organization is making the right decision. And obviously with Jason Tatum, performing the way that he did, it seems like the organization's decision is trending in the right direction. Now, we all know he ruptured his Achilles back in the Eastern Conference semifinals. I think it was against the Knicks. And, that was very gruesome. But fast forward back to now, and, he returned. Now, I believe there was a couple of clips of, I think he gave like a short, not a speech, but like a short, he gave, he had like a short post game segment with a reporter. Let me see if I can find that. I'm pretty sure some account posted it somewhere. Where is it? So I don't see one of Jason Tatum, but they have one of Jaylen Brown.
Man of the night, Jason Tatum, your teammate. How do you think he's fared thus far?
I think he's looking good. Just taking it one day at a time. It's great to have him back out here. He's been down for a long time. The Celtics fans brought great energy tonight. Let's try to convert it to a win.
All right, now how do you guys close it out then? Jalen, let's...
Obviously, they closed it out, and Jason Tatum had a double-double. Now, let's get into the stats. Where is it? So, Jason Tatum had 15 points, and obviously, let me make sure you guys can see the stats here. Let me zoom in a little bit. So, Jaylen Brown had a very efficient game, 24 points, 9 for 17, 2 for 5 from 3-point line, 4 for 6 from free throw. He was plus 20. Now Jason Tatum had 15 points. He shot very inefficiently. Now for me, right, personally, I wasn't, because Jason Tatum is a shot maker. Like, he's an elite player in this league. Multiple All NBAs. Olympic medals. Won a championship. Jason Tatum at this point in his career has sort of kind of done it all, right? Except obviously win multiple championships. That's like the next step for him. But when coming back from an injury like Jason Tatum came back from, an Achilles tear, I'm not more so looking at him making shots. I'm more focused on how he's maneuvering, right? Him moving laterally, making cuts, and like I said, the great thing about Jason Tatum is that that I think is very underrated about Jason Tatum is he doesn't have to score to be efficient or score to be to have an impact on the team. Now, obviously, this is his first game back in almost 300 days. There's gonna be some sort of nerves as he's playing in the game. And he missed shots. I think he was 0 for 6 in the first 2 quarters, and he didn't score until I think it was late in the third, I believe. I think it was a putback dunk. Then after that, when you hit a dunk, you know what I'm saying, you sort of kind of get in rhythm, and you hit a step back 3 after that. So overall, seeing the way Jason Tatum moved on the court, as a Celtics fan, you have to be, because to be honest, man, I was nervous. I'm not even a Celtics fan. I'm a Jason Tatum fan. I hate the Celtics. I'm a Miami Heat fan, but I love basketball. Jason Tatum is obviously one of the top players in the league, and we have to pay respect where respect is due. So I was a bit sort of kind of scared, hoping nothing happened, but he looked good. He looked pretty good, and obviously winning against the Mavericks isn't that big of a flex. You see the record; they're 21-42. I mean, their season speaks for itself. They're not doing anything this season, but I think this is a good starting point for Jason Tatum, who I think there's about 18 or 19 games left in the season. So he'll have about 18 or 19 games to get back in rhythm for the playoffs. Now, with Jason Tatum's return, in my opinion, I believe the Boston Celtics are the favorites in the East. Not to win it all. I'm not crazy, but the favorites in the East. Now, respect to Detroit, I believe JB Bickerstaff is going to be coach of the year. But we saw what the Spurs did to the Pistons, I think a couple nights ago. If you lock up Cade Cunningham, ain't shit the Pistons can really do. They need, in my opinion, another shot maker. Right now, respect to Detroit. Cade Cunningham, he's definitely having an MVP caliber season. He is the engine behind Detroit. But prior to Jason Tatum's return, even though Jaylen Brown has ascended and kept this team afloat, they're number 2 in the East. The Pistons were the talk of the town, and I was of the mindset that they can definitely make it to the finals. But with Jason Tatum's return, seeing how he played, and obviously it remains to be seen if he's the Jason Tatum we're accustomed to seeing, right? He has about 18 games to get back in shape, and we'll see. We'll see what happens. But as far as what I'm seeing right now, with Jason Tatum's return, there is no doubt in my mind that the Boston Celtics are the favorites to come out of the East this season. It still comes through TD Garden. Okay. Now, I want to veer towards another thing. Now, prior to Jason Tatum's return, right, there was this like discussion on whether, he should defer to Jaylen Brown. Should Jaylen Brown remain the first option, whatever, yeah, whatever. The thing I like about the Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum dynamic is they are both such versatile players that it doesn't really matter who's taking more shots. Like these guys are so like such elite shot makers and such elite defenders and guys who can just do it all. Like these are your dream wings to have in the league. They don't really care about stuff like that. Now there was a clip I believe I saved. Let me see if I can pick it up. Where Jaylen Brown was talking about it. I don't know if it was a video or a quote. Here we go. It was actually a quote. So this is what he said. He says, "First, I want to commend JT for being like I want to come back. Him even wanting to come back is an unselfish act. Putting potentially his body on the line in order for us to accomplish something great. We both are on the same page. We had a good talk today about what we want. We talked about just the mindset that we both want to come back and add to winning. We have a great understanding of what it means to win. We've won for a long time. We know how to find success. We're on the same page." Now, I'm not going to play this clip, this clip that I saw a couple of days ago, but J.R. Smith, went viral on Twitter because he said that the Boston Celtics team has always been Jaylen Brown's team. And basically, the optically, from the outside as fans, we see it as Jason Tatum's team, but within the locker room, within, film sessions, practices, stuff like that, it's based J.R. Smith thinks that it's Jaylen Brown's team, which I mean that's up for debate, but I don't agree. But the reason I'm even saying all this is because Shannon Sharp actually brought up a conversation about this narrative or the media or people trying to separate Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. Let me see if I can pick it up for you guys. Here we go. Shannon Sharp and Joe Johnson talking about how people are trying to split up the Boston Celtics duo of Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. Let's check it out.
I think for me, look, they don't need to get into that because that's the quickest way is the camps to start splitting you up.
Oh man.
Because man, you know you better than him, man. You ain't got to say that, but we know it. Everybody knows it, and then
you start having pulling, tugging different ways, and it's like you want to keep them two together, bro, because they're so dynamic together. It's almost to me, Uncle Ocho. I know Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown have won a championship, but it's like Vince Carter and Tracy McGrady when they was playing together in Toronto. It's like, bro, you ain't supposed to let them two. You ain't supposed to let not one of them get out the door. You got to make that work some form of fashion.
Right.
Yeah.
And I look at Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, same thing. They done won. They've been to the finals and lost, at the Eastern Conference Finals and lost. And they've been to the finals and lost and been to the finals and won. So I just think through everything that they've been through, man, you keep them dudes together. I think they can at least get you another one for sure in the next year or so.
Yeah.
Hey, Joe, you don't think he gonna hurt himself though, Joe?
Nah,
I like what you said. You say, he got to come back, and I know they're bringing him back for a reason. But you said he needs to assert himself. Like that. That's doing a little too much, Joe.
I think they've been in practice training. I think they wouldn't put him out there if they didn't think he was ready.
I agree.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, Joe. What's one thing now? Football, basketball. I don't care what sport it is, especially at the highest level. Practice ain't the same as the basketball game. It ain't the same as the real game, Joe. I know that.
I know it ain't, but I bet you they done had him out there scrimmaging 5-on-5, going up and down an extensive number of times, testing out that Achilles, seeing where his wind is at. And I bet you they've built his tolerance up to the point to where he could come in and play at least 25 minutes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They ain't going to play him 40 minutes, Ocho, but he probably started out about 25, close to 30 minutes.
Yeah, he gonna be on a time restriction. But Joe, I'm finna watch this game, Joe. I don't want to see him put the ball on the floor, Joe. I
What?
want to see him come out. Hey, I want to
But
see him
that's
come
him.
out the pick. Hey, listen, I want to see him come out the pick and roll. I want to see him pop and shoot. You know, I ain't just I want to see him put the ball in the flow and have to make irky jerky a sudden movement, Joe, where you got to push off. It just that scare me, Joe.
I
And
know.
I ain't.
I don't mean to pause the video, but I'm not gonna lie. I kind of understand where Ocho's coming from because Jason Tatum's first move, you would think it'd be a three. His first move off of an injury, right? And tonight, right? He drove left and did like an in and out step back. And I'm like, oh shit. I was like, fuck, bro. I'm like, I hope he doesn't hurt himself. But overall, he looked pretty good. Looked pretty good.
I
I
don't
know.
even
He
know bro
going
like that.
I know.
It make me nervous.
I know, but he gonna test it, Ocho. He gonna do all that you say. He gonna pick and pop. He gonna dribble it out the pick and roll. He gonna do all that. He gonna post
Hey,
up.
you hear my basketball lingo? I've been working on my shit now.
I think that's the thing. I mean, sometimes things that's not even true, but people start putting that out there in the universe.
Yeah.
And, you know, they start to consume it. Teams start to consume it.
Yep.
And we saw it happen. That's what happened. Whose team was it in L.A.? Shaq or Kobe's. And they started to buy into it. It's my team. Nah, I'm big brother, you little brother. I'm Batman, you Robin. Like, no.
That was Shaq's persona and personality though.
Yes.
You know, toward Kobe at the time. He was playing that big brother role.
But let me ask you a question. Kobe ever strike you as a guy that wanted a big brother? I mean, let's be all the way real.
Yeah.
I know him a little bit. I don't know him like you know him, Joe, and been around him. But did Kobe strike you as a guy that wanted a big brother?
Nah.
So, and after a while, like, hey, you know, Kyrie and LeBron. You know, Shump said, you know, Kyrie wanted to beat LeBron. He felt he could lead.
So speaking of that, right? So yeah, I'm basically done with the Jason Tatum topic, but all in all, I don't agree with, you know, I mean, I do agree with Shannon Sharp as far as like there's some sort of kind of narrative out there of people trying to split up Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, but clearly we know Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum are on the same page as Jaylen Brown said, and you know, they just block out the noise. These guys are trying to win championships. I think they know what they have, and that's two elite wings on a team that has a bunch of amazing role players. You have Derek White, who had an amazing night tonight as well. How many did he have? Derek White actually had 20 points on 8 for 16. I mean, Derek White is a guy you want. Every team wants a Derek White. Like this guy defensively on both ends of the floor, right? Especially the 3-point shooting, because Joe Mazzulla's philosophy for this Celtics team is just shoot the 3 ball. Just let that shit fly. And to just like Derek White, man, that guy's just, you know, Peyton Pritchard as well. Him too. And all the others as well too. You know, this is a great Celtics squad. There's a reason they're the favorites to come out east. So, but back to pick you off what Shannon Sharp was saying, right? So Iman Shumpert, and we can kick off the stream with a couple of these topics. So we have Iman Shumpert. He was on Club Shay Shay. He spoke about a bunch of topics. You know, his marriage. He spoke about, you know, LeBron. He said LeBron's the Chat GBT of the NBA. Shit. Spoke about a lot of things, right? Now there were 2 things that I want to talk about that really sparked my interest, right? So Iman Shumpert went on Club Shay Shay and he spoke about why Kyrie Irving left the Cleveland Cavaliers to join the Celtics. And part of what Shumpert was saying was, you know, Kyrie was a Kobe guy. Now I'm gonna play the clip of Iman Shumpert actually talking about it. Let me actually search it up. And following that, right, Richard Jefferson, excuse me, went on his podcast as well as his podcast along with Kendrick Perkins, and they also gave their version of, you know, what they feel like happened. So let's get into it.
Pick that bitch though, for real. Like we get money over here.
You and Kyrie are cool. Are you surprised that Kyrie wanted to leave and go get his own?
Hell no. If you know Kyrie is a Kobe guy. Like, Kyrie wanted to beat Bron, and that's okay. Like, people be like, man, that was dumb. I would've. Yeah, you would've. You would have teamed up. You a team up type of dog. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's who you are. That's not Kyrie.
Right.
Kyrie is like, the only way I could be crowned the best is to beat the best.
Right.
I got to go head to head with you. I can't team up with you. So it's like for Kyrie, and then picture you at your crib, you know what I'm saying? They give you a crib. You got your mama crib, right? And then they just bring you a new brother. And then your mama like, well, he the only one. Like, you was the one that get to have the house key and do whatever you want. And now oh no, you get to drive the car.
Right.
Yeah, we got a new brother now, but he the only one get to drive the car. What? What made him a better driver than me? That's how. And it's like, for people not to understand that's what happened, and then be like, oh, he should have put his pride to the side. Why? What's wrong with that?
Right.
Bron is great. Kyrie want to beat him. Kyrie wants y'all to have to say, I beat Bron on the biggest stage ever. He wants us to be able to say that as a competitor. What's wrong with that?
I don't think that was going to ever happen.
Whether we think it's going to happen is not, that's the thing. We also laughed at Kobe Bryant and said he wasn't going to be like Mike. Y'all remember that?
Yeah.
Do y'all remember when he was wearing 8 and everybody was like, this little kid is crazy?
Yeah.
Because he's shooting it terrible. He's shooting it awful. It take delusion, bro.
Yeah, it's a very fine line between self-confidence and delusion. That in itself is a skill.
They was going in on Kyrie that year, previous years before that when he was in Cleveland by his goddamn self, saying he wasn't that good as the number one.
Right.
Maybe he's not that good. Maybe he shouldn't have been chosen number one. Maybe his foot failed him. Maybe this, maybe that. He dealt
I think he should have been number one, but I don't think they, be honest, do you think they win the championship if LeBron don't come back to Cleveland?
We'll never know.
Bro, you was getting the lottery.
This what you're not getting though. Like I said.
Yeah.
Kyrie will never know. He had to leave because Bron f***ed it up.
I'm saying if LeBron doesn't come back to Cleveland.
What? Does Kyrie get one?
Yes.
We'll never know. Well, he got one.
It's kind of hard to say that when you get Andrew Bennett, first overall pick, you get Andrew Wiggins, first overall pick, and you get Tristan Thompson. That don't look like a championship winning formula to me, Shump.
When Bron brought his ass over there, we beat them to kick off the season. We didn't think that was championship shit when they came.
Now, it's funny because Shannon Sharp is a LeBron lover. Sometimes it's to the point where it's like, okay, you're doing a little too much, bro. Fuck with Shannon Sharp though. But it's like, I see where Shump is coming from, from the perspective that like it's LeBron James, and even till this day, the stigma behind Kyrie Irving, even though he hit the shot, is he never won without Bron. And I feel like Kyrie, like, personally wanted to like challenge himself, and like the way Kobe wanted, like when he when Shaq left, right? His goal was to win more championships, or at least win a championship without Shaq, so that he can get this narrative from behind him where it says, oh, he never won with Shaq, or he hasn't won one without Shaq. Same thing with Kyrie Irving. So I see where Shump is coming from that, but Shannon Sharp isn't having it. He's like, man, Bron gave Kyrie the stimulus package. But I'm rambling. The next thing I wanted to play was Richard Jefferson and Kendrick Perkins actually giving their perspective on that as well. So let's get into it. It says here, the real reason Kyrie left Cleveland, according to RJ.
What's up, y'all? Allie here, Richard here. If you're watching this video and you haven't subscribed yet, make sure to go hit that subscribe button to stay tapped in with Road Trippin' all season long. You don't want to miss what we have in store. So subscribe, hit that notification bell, tell a friend to tell a friend. Road Trippin' is here. We're taking over.
Stop blaming us for what Perk says.
Amon Shumpert went on Club Shay Shay and said he was not surprised that Kyrie left Cleveland because if you know Kyrie, you know that he is a Kobe guy and that he wanted to beat LeBron, not team up with him, because he wants to be considered the best. And to be the best, you have to beat the best. You guys were there. You guys were around. Can you guys shed some perspective on maybe what Shumpert is discussing?
Yeah,
I mean, I'll go first.
Go ahead, Shannon.
Here's what I assume. Kyrie was getting, have you ever seen that movie, League of Their Own?
Allie
Right?
might have seen that
I
movie.
have.
Allie, you've seen that
have you
movie,
seen that
okay?
movie?
I
Do
have.
you remember
still
Kit?
Allie still
Do you
hasn't
remember-
seen The Wood.
Nope. Do you remember Kit and Dottie? Right?
I am Kit.
Do you remember Kit needed to get that attention for what they were, but Dottie always got it from being a different type of leader? I felt like Kyrie, no matter what he did, even though he hit that shot, he was a great leader. It just wasn't ever his team, right? And I don't think it was so much about beating LeBron. I thought Kyrie was like, I can do this. I need to show myself that I can do this. He wanted his own team. He wanted to be that leader. And then he's even acknowledged that when he got to Boston, he was like, damn, I like matured and realized how hard of a job that LeBron was doing being that type of leader for us. And I felt like it was less about beating LeBron and more about showing the world he is just as good as a leader, as a locker room guy, and as a person who could take a team to a finals as LeBron. That's just what I assume.
I agree. I think you look at the Kobe Shaq thing, right? I think you kind of look at that where Kyrie has he's one of the most unique, talented human beings we've ever seen, right? We know that. So for him, he's like, yo, I want to win a championship as the best player. I want to win an MVP. I want to win an all-star MVP. I want to win a finals MVP. It's okay to have those goals, right? It's okay to have those goals. Kyrie was I think he was in his third year when Bron came, as he was turning into this once in a generation type monster. So for him to want to compete against the best, beat the best, and then it's like Kobe was very similar. Shaq shows up on his team. Kobe's a young player. They elevate together until it got to a place where there was like I would say a clash, or just kind of a different disagreement of flows. Even they have not apologized, but they've mended things post their thing. So it's like, what I see Shump seeing is I think when we talk about Dottie, when we talk about Kit, I can understand there's always that. Right?
Yeah.
But we weren't the Rockford Peaches, even though I know like 90% of that song.
Can you sing it for
Rockford
us?
Peach.
What?
Oh, that's the name of the team. I'm so stupid. I was like,
Yes.
Perk, thoughts?
So,
You guys remember?
So
Derek, what you got?
I was there the first year for the finals run, right? I got there for the first year. And Braun, each team had the group message, shout out to Randy, aka Ramos. We're putting a group message when we go on the road. Hey, dinner reservations is at X, Y, and Z. You go to on the road team dinners, you had that different type of camaraderie. I don't recall one team dinner that I saw Kyrie Irving there. I actually was neighbors with Kyrie during that time. He stayed across the street from me. Kyrie, to me, he never wanted to be under Braun wing, right? He never wanted to be in his shadows. And the way that I looked at it, it was more so like, it was almost as if it was like y'all kiss Braun ass around here type deal. Because, like Braun have his own separate workouts outside of the organization, his own trainer. Shout out to I got Mike, one of the best in the business.
Oh, for
what
sure.
I'm saying? Yeah, for sure. And then all of a sudden, like, I walk into the training facility one day and Kyrie got his own trainer in the training facility, right? And like you started to see that separation. It was even to the point when I first got there, when we scrimmaged up and down at practice, the very few times that we did, those two guys wasn't even on the same team. I believe Braun went on the second unit and scrimmaged against the first unit, right?
But that's no normal, right? I feel like that does.
Nah,
I feel like that's.
but when the connection is there. This is not.
No, I'm not saying they weren't saying they were best friends.
And I'm not saying they were beefing, but because this is not my first time dealing with a situation like that. When I got to OKC, it was the same with Russ and KD. I was like, hold on, y'all two don't fuck with each other, period? No way. Like, I had to kind of mend that relationship, but as Shannon said, once he got to Boston, you realize, like, hold on, man, taking, playing with greatness for granted. And then all of a sudden you start to have a different level of appreciation. But I'm glad they're in good terms. They're still going to go down as one of the best duos to ever do it because they had.
Absolutely. And I'm going to cut it off, just not to prolong the whole topic. I mean, I was sick when Kyrie left Cleveland, man, because I know for a fact that I would have loved to see him match up with Curry again in those, finals when KD was there, but we'll never know. But obviously they're on good terms. As a matter of fact, Kyrie was supposed to go to the Lakers. I mean, we all know Braun went on the ESPN interview, I believe, saying that he was upset that it didn't happen, but they're on good terms. And obviously, I do believe that Kyrie Irving did get a different perspective when he went to the Celtics to say, "Wow, it's not that easy, man. It's not easy to lead a squad, lead a locker room, and it is what it is." But let me know what y'all think about this in particular. On to the next topic. So Iman Shumpert, right? So something very funny happened on my page. So basically, Iman Shumpert on Club Shay Shay again, right? He told LeBron, apparently, Iman Shumpert said he told LeBron to his face that Michael Jordan was the GOAT. And I posted the clip on my page, and some LeBron fans got pissed off. Let's play the clip and we'll get into the comments.
You told LeBron that Jordan is better than him. What did he say? How did
He
he look at you?
laughed. He knew I was gonna say it though. Like he know that. He know that. Even though he is the great one. He know, one, I'm a Chicago kid.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Two, how LeBron at the end of the game can pass to somebody.
Mm-hmm.
If it was my team, I wouldn't do that. Like, I would.
You taking that shot?
Because I'm going to take the DNA of Mike. That's what I grew up watching. That's
Right.
the way I like the game played. So it's like to see Bron defer sometimes and do certain stuff. That's why I put him over. Plus, it's like Mike never lost in a championship.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, that's why. But it's like, as far as breaking records and accolades and all the rest of this shit, it's like, no, I've been giving Bron his props. It's just, how you going to do that to me? How you going to tell my childhood self I'm wrong?
Right.
Like, nigga, Mike saved my life a couple times, as far as I'm concerned. The world was ending, and then Michael Jordan put on a cape, and we beat the Jazz. What the is wrong with you? Like, my house was burning down. And Mike went out there and beat the Lakers in '91. Like, what are you talking about? Like, there was all type of bad stuff happening. I told him that.
Yeah.
What about?
See, I heard what Shumpert had to say, and shit, damned if you have your own opinion, right? And that's one of the things I really don't like. Obviously, I'm a LeBron fan, but I'm not like a delusional, like they call them Bron sexuals, right? Like, some of these guys are pissed off. Now, there's some people that agree, some people that disagree, of course. You know how that goes. But let me see. So here, this one guy says, that's fair and that's real. Somebody put, Jordan got you a ring? Sound like Bron saved your life. You ain't been shit since. Yo, like, I'm telling you, Bron fans, like, when they feel like LeBron's legacy or LeBron is like, when they feel LeBron's being slighted, they start going crazy, man. This one guy, somebody responded, said, saved his life. What you mean by that? His life was amazing when he was with Bron. Family, ring, money. And now he's a bum. I don't get it. I mean, I'm telling you, like, sometimes Bron fans just be saying the craziest shit. And we all know Go Air Jordan comment dropped the JJ Barea gift. Somebody also commented, Mike ain't get you a ring. Somebody put Mike dimed Kerr and Paxson. Somebody commented, LeBron is LeBron. I don't know what that means. Somebody also put Shumpert a fool. Love his storytelling. Now, Shumpert do be telling some good stories. Send Braun his ring back, punk. Dang, I'm telling you, bro. It said nigga was born in the 90s. Talk about Mike saved his life. Boy, you ain't get to watch Mike. Please stop it. Let's see when Iman was born. When was Iman Shumpert born? Dang, that's crazy. So it says Iman Shumpert was born in 1990. I believe Jordan started playing basketball in the 80s. So basically, when Jordan won his his last championship, Iman Shumpert was 8 years old. So y'all think because Iman barely saw or was barely able to witness Jordan, you know, I mean, I'm pretty sure. I mean, in the 90s, Jordan basically ran the 90s. To be fair, right? But I could see why this person. I could see why he made that comment. But you know, people will people will have their own opinion, and I'll leave it at that. Funny little topic. Funny little topic. So what's another good one? What's another good one? So by the way, so there was a clip of Byron Scott, right? So Byron Scott was asked a question about LeBron James, and he basically said that he wants LeBron off the team. And Rich Paul took wind of some of his comments. Oh, in addition to Byron Scott actually saying LeBron should leave the team, he also said that LeBron's comments about, it being harder to play in the today rather than the 80s and 90s was laughable, and that, he basically disagreed. Now, I don't think LeBron said it's harder to play in the 80s. I mean, he sort of kind of insinuated it. I think the exact topic was LeBron spoke about it being harder to play 82 games today rather than it was to play, 82 games in the 80s and 90s. So let me actually play the clip of LeBron saying, it's harder to play 82 games. Did I actually post this? Oh, I actually posted this. Hold on. I posted this. How long ago did I post this? Let me see if I can find it. Because that video I had was a reaction. I don't want to play the reaction part. I want to play the part where he actually says it. Where is it? Maybe I should play it. Maybe I should play it on this. Hold on, let me see.
Because the game.
It's correctly, right? He said
The level is not the same.
or 90s.
The same, and our fans to understand.
All right, so this is LeBron saying it'd be harder to play 82 games today than it was in the 80s or 90s. Then we'll play Byron Scott's response. Then after that, we'll play Rich Paul's comments, basically saying that Byron Scott was being dismissive and sort of kind of borderline disrespectful. So let's get to it.
Understand that playing 82 games in the 80s and 90s is not the same as playing 82 games in the 2020s. It's just not. The way we play, the level of pace, the level of the speed that we're playing at, it's a different game now. It's a totally different game.
So I'm not gonna play the whole thing. He basically thinks it's harder to play 82 games today than it was in the 80s and 90s. Then Byron Scott comes out and says, no. Let me find out for you guys. Where is it? Byron Scott, where you at? Here we go.
Laughable. I just thought it was laughable, coming from one of the greatest players that ever played a game, to say that it's harder to play now than it was then.
Are you ready to see him go from the Lakers?
Yeah. I mean, like I said, I'm a fan, but I don't mince words either. I mean, I think this should be his last year here.
Not in the NBA, just here.
No, just here.
Okay.
I really.
You don't got to go home, but you got to go.
Yeah, it's Morris Day. You know what I'm saying?
That's
you don't have to go home, but you got to get the hell out of here.
All right, so you heard what he had to say, right? So, Rich Paul commented on Byron Scott's comments, so let's get into it.
90 today, we played 94 feet. They play 60 feet today because everything is predicated on shooting threes. You're not going up and down like we did. As far as physicality, it's not even close. I just thought it was laughable coming from one of the greatest to ever play the game. He's responding to LeBron James saying that the game has changed. Your thoughts, Rich Paul?
On the eras, I mean, I think everybody's going to be biased to the eras that they played in. I know what it looks like. I can't tell you what it was like because I never played, in an NBA game. But I think coming from someone who has actually played and has played in multiple eras, I don't know about the word laughable. You could. There's a way where you could disagree with somebody without it coming off as what I would say would be offensive.
Disrespectful?
Yeah, disrespectful. Yeah, exactly. Disrespectful. There's a way that you can say things without it coming off as disrespectful. And actually, that's going to lead me into my get rich quick. Respect, in my opinion, is one of those foundational pillars. And I think respect is something that you should lead with as a human. Every human should lead with respect. And especially when someone has earned that either through their productivity or their character. With that being said, and I think for me, I was always taught to respect my elders, to respect everyone, but definitely to respect my elders. But then, some days I sit there and I think and I see things and I'm like, but what about when your elders do things or say things that actually warrants disrespect? And it's been a lot of that going on, but then that's a very slippery slope, because when you get to the position that we are, Max, you're in, I'm in, we've got here, we work very hard to get there, and others have too. You got to be very careful, because you get to a point to where you can say things or do things that knock you off your square, and also in that case, if you're knocked off your square, then that means you've been tricked out of your spot. And if you're tricked out of your spot, what happens is you can say or do something that looks or feels good in the moment, but looks foolish and probably is foolish and lives foolishly forever, and so I think,
in other words, one of the best arguments for being respectful.
I'm not gonna lie to you, man. Sometimes I feel like Rich Paul loves to hear himself speak, but I do feel like Byron Scott's comments were a bit dismissive. But it's his opinion, of course. But like I said, Rich Paul is always gonna pick the side of his guy, LeBron James. So that's that. All right, so a clip surfaced of Steph Curry, right, looking at Draymond Green as Draymond Green was like going off. And we're gonna react to this as well. Let me save that for later. But a clip surfaced of Steph Curry, right? He was looking at Draymond Green, and I think it was like during a timeout, and Draymond Green appeared to be like going off on some of the bench players, right? I think it was a game they were like down a lot of points, and you have to see Steph Curry's reaction. Check this out. Where is it? Here we go. So there's no sound, but you can see his reaction. He's just like staring at him. And a lot of people are like, Steph's reaction is like, oh man, I'm just so tired of this guy. All this guy is doing is yelling. People felt like Steph Curry was, sick and tired of it, right? And this went viral. Like a lot of blogs are posting this. You see people are saying, we got all that homie who a non-stop crash out. We all got that one homie. I'm guessing that's what he tried to say. Don't remember the last time I saw a clip of Draymond actually hooping. Oh man. He put pretending, somebody commented Steph's pretending to listen. Somebody put he used to him. It's going in one ear and out the other. This is funny. Draymond looking, talking to players on the bench, not Steph. He's just listening to him. This guy gets it. I don't think it was that big of a deal, in my opinion. But I thought it was still funny, right? Me listening to my homie crash out about a girl I know he's gonna go back to. Somebody put, this is how they won championships. Draymond would cut a promo and Steph because he's fired up, or Clay, KD because they want Green to keep his mouth shut. Okay, whatever. I don't have no idea what this guy's talking about. Dre plays without Steph. We lose. Dre sits his ass on a bench. We win. Seems pretty cut and dry. When someone vents, but I already know exactly how this story ends. This dude is too emotional. I think Stephen Curry is over this crap now. So a lot of people had, things to say about this clip. And I'm pretty sure Draymond Green saw the comments and was like, let me respond. So Draymond Green actually responded to the clip. And do I have that? Did I save that? Where is it? He did get on this podcast and spoke about the topic. So let's see if we can find that. I know I had it somewhere. It gotta be somewhere on this. Okay. This is the media one. Here we go. It says Draymond Green talking about viral video of Steph's reacting to him talking to the guys on the bench.
Reaction has gone quite viral to me talking to our guys on the bench, and I see a lot of people's reaction like, oh man, Steph tired of Draymond. And quite honestly, what I saw in the video and what I've taken away from the video, and be that I kind of talk to Steph every day, was that he was in agreement with what I said. We were getting our ass kicked, so you're not going to be sitting there smiling or enthused. And yeah, I love how everyone tries to project their energy about me onto Steph. When quite honestly, their energy really doesn't fucking matter when it comes to me. So I really enjoy seeing all the takes online and everybody like, oh man, he's so sick of Draymond, like I'm sick of Draymond. And it's like the reality is, you being sick of me, you could either not watch or you can shut the hell up. Because it don't matter. And you ain't changing nothing. So that moment I thought was pretty, I'd say the reaction to it was pretty hilarious, because quite honestly, if I was just looking at the video, I wouldn't think nothing of it, because I live this and I know the real life feelings and how you'd feel in the huddle. So I wouldn't have thought anything of it, but the reaction to the video I found quite amusing and funny.
Now, hate him or love him, people can talk about the triple single that, Charles Barkley made popular. And, they call Draymond donkey. They say he's nothing without Steph. But listen, man, there's a reason the Warriors came out and said that this guy is virtually untradeable, right? Warriors won't trade Draymond, right? You can hate Draymond, right? All you want. Let me see. I can't find a report right now, but basically, the Warriors came out saying that they would never, they're not trading Draymond Green. They want him to retire with the team, and it's because Draymond without Draymond, the Warriors don't win championships. He is their enforcer. He is their defender. He is the guy that protects Steph. He's the one that sets those hard screens, whether you like it or not. He's the guy that I think 85% of his assists are to Steph. And you guys can clown him about, whether, he'd be nothing without Steph. But I think Draymond has had a very positive impact on Steph Curry's career. Now, obviously, he isn't a fan favorite because some of the I'm not gonna say he's a dirty player because I fuck with Draymond, but some of the he sometimes does some unsportsmanlike acts, and a lot of fans don't like that. But again, he is the modern day Dennis Rodman, and without him, the Warriors don't win 4 championships. So it is what it is. I thought his response was a pure Draymond response, hilarious and straight to the point, and cutthroat, doesn't really care what people think, and he's gonna remain himself. So it is what it is, man. It is what it is. All right, so I want to get to the nitty gritty topic of today's stream, okay? And I think I was gonna do an intermission, but I feel pretty good. I don't think I need an intermission, but I do want to end the stream at about the 1 hour and 15 mark. So let's see if we can knock out the rest of these topics. So I reported a couple months ago, last year in particular, the whole Patrick Beverley, alleged assault on his younger sister, and that came out. And let me see if I can actually. He actually came out with a video, but was there an article on this? Boom. So boom. Here we go. So Patrick Beverley came out and shared his side of the alleged assault on his 15-year-old sister after the case gets dismissed. So for those who don't know, a little recap, right? Back in November 15th of last year, Patrick Beverley was arrested for a 3rd-degree felony assault. And, it was a thing revolving his sister and a dude. I'm not going to get into the whole exact, story, right? Because we reported it. If you guys want to see the original story, just go to Bebop Unlock TV, look at the catalog, and you'll find the original story. But this was a big story at the time, and I reported it. And fast forward to now, Patrick Beverley actually released a YouTube video saying his side of the story after the case has been dismissed. Okay, all the charges have been dropped because I think it was insufficient evidence, something like that. And we actually did we post it? No, I'm not. Actually, as a matter of fact, let me not play it on YouTube. Let me actually go to X. I think NBA Central posted it. The Dunk Central, right? Let me see. Dylan Brooks also got a DUI, and there's like the footage. We gotta watch that. Did he not post it? Check. Here we go. So this is the video of him giving his side of the story.
Night of what happened. I get a call around 3 o'clock in the morning. Mind you, I have a 5 o'clock in the morning flight to LA. I work out for some teams. I get interrupted with a call at 3 o'clock from mom.
Yo, the background music is crazy.
Like, I need you to come over here fast. Like, man, what's going on? What happened? Into the house, go to mom's room. Mom explains to me, sister not in the house when she's supposed to. This same situation happened to mom last year. Someone called police on mom. CPS got involved, threatened to take my sister. So this isn't just happened overnight. This has been a constant battle. Dealing with a young teenager who's in love. Yeah, we get it. Be in love. I love your love. It's so organic, it's so pure, it's so like strong, it's so like loyal. But like, just wait till you're 16. Growing up too fast, if you know what I mean. Come in room, mom room, what's up, mom? She snuck out again. I'm like, I pull sister in next room. When I say pull, I mean arm, come here, right? I'm like, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing? Like, as a 37-year-old brother and the 15-year-old sister, it's not little sister, it's little daughter vibe. So the young man, he was cool, right? And they wanted me to file charges on him, and I made sure that didn't happen because I didn't want to mess up his life or anything like that, right? he walks out the door, and my sister like runs up behind him, right? And I grab her like by her hoodie. When I say grab her by her hoodie, again, not by the hoodie back here, grab her by the hoodie like this. Like, where are you going? I'm heated, right? I leave the house, falling up behind a young man. And he's outside. I guess, he called law enforcement, and this has happened before. And police come. I open the door, like, yeah, nothing happened, mom, nothing happened, sister, nothing happened, and I look, and they're talking to my sister. My mom, like, that didn't happen. What are you saying? Like, what are you saying? Next thing you know, I'm detained, on the way to the police car, right? And they tell me, you're just being detained. This, and I'm like, okay, but like, why, right? No one's telling me. And I see a police car pull up behind, another police car pull up behind, and I'm like, what is going on right now? Mind you, I'm in the back, I got handcuffs on me, and then my sister runs right to the truck, like, no, that didn't happen, like, what are you guys doing? Like, and I'm telling everybody, calm down, just let them do their job, like, let them do their job, right? Not knowing at all that I'm about to be locked up. Like, I can just imagine what people are saying. I just understand that the narrative that people are going off is only based on the police report, and like I said, I get it. I'll be looking at that shit the same way. But like, that's not at all what happened. Everybody got family issues. I'm detained. I'm in back of the car. The officer, he's Pat. I know exactly who you are. I don't know if he's trying to be good cop, bad cop vibe. First thing in the door was how tight the cuffs were. My God. Like, I'm not familiar with the prison system. I'm not familiar.
This is funny.
Familiar with being locked up. I'm not familiar with handcuffs. I'm just not. I'm not. I'm familiar with Gatorade bottles, towels, a basketball. I'm not familiar with the law enforcement umbrella. Instantly, the first thing that stood off was back of the car, uncomfortable. Me being uncomfortable, I think that's what prison is, just totally being uncomfortable.
I'm embarrassed by the situation. I'm embarrassed of the accusations. I'm embarrassed of how the narrative is on social media.
So that's that. I'm kind of happy that he came out and actually gave a side of the story, because some of the allegations were kind of crazy. They basically alleged that he beat his sister up, which is crazy to me, right? But I'm interested to see what people are saying in the comment section. Let's check it out. Somebody put, this is filmed like a Netflix documentary. Somebody put, thought he was about to begin the video with, it was a small town, everyone knew everyone. Somebody put, his attorney right now. Somebody put, this nigga made this bill like it's a serial killer documentary on Netflix. I ain't gonna lie, the music was kind of crazy. Pat Beverley like a real serial killer trying to Netflix docuseries this. Yeah, as we all know, it was the So these are the allegations. He choked his sister. That was crazy. Some family shit doesn't need to be explained to the internet. This shit don't even make sense. To me, I just felt like Patrick Beverley probably got upset because he saw his sister with a boy, and you know how that goes as being an older brother. But the age difference is crazy. 37 and 15. I mean, it is kind of like, daughter vibes. So, but yeah, it seems like most people are clowning him for the way he made his response video. Like it's a Netflix docuseries. Somebody put, nigga made a mini documentary. Yeah. The fact that he told him to add that background music is insanity. Motherfucker started playing blue. Nah, that's funny. That's funny. Yeah. I'm getting kind of my eyes getting kind of heavy, man. I'm gonna call it a night, y'all. But I appreciate you guys for tuning in. Make sure you guys drop a like on the video. It would definitely help the algorithm. And make sure you guys also follow me on Instagram at Beba Unlocked. We almost at 10.8K followers. Make sure you follow the backup too. We almost at 1K followers. And I appreciate the support. I'll see you guys in the next stream.